Yo, what is up and welcome in, Protos, to another Chaos Zero Nightmare video. I say another, this is really just my second. My first video was, I think, when the game first released, but I have been playing this entire time. I've kept up with every single character, every single update, but I have been doing it quietly, off video. But today, Chaos Zero Nightmare has enticed me yet again to hop into the scene. Because, brother, the half anniversary showcase Arise is freaking crazy. Even their roadmap looks insane. So we're just going to get into it. I did skim this already, but we're more or less going to go through it together. Catch anything that I might have missed the first time around. And we will skip, from piece to piece because they do linger on some topics for a while. But yeah, dude, check this out. The new character, I believe her name is Hyde Marie, also looks pretty damn busted from first appearance. She is a discard link unit, which is another brand new game mechanic. It always surprises me that they keep on introducing new mechanics left and right with all these new characters. But yes, here we go. So I do have this at 1.5 times speed, just to, really boost it up. And I mean, really, it's not in English, so, we just got to read the subtitles anyway. So as long as you guys are a fast reader, you should be able to keep up. Also, at the end of this live stream, we do get a promo code, which if you enter in-game, you do get 1,000 crystals. I do recommend doing that. I believe the promo code off the top of my head is CZN0418 Arise. So if you just go into your settings and type that in, you'll get a free 1,000 crystals. So yeah, we're going to skip the chatter a little bit. Sorry. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, here we go. Also, I gotta say this real quick. I do love this format. I'm sorry. I do like the YouTubers that hop in and, weigh in on these updates, but I'm gonna be so serious, man. I do like these professional formats a lot more because it's straight, easy, to the point. We don't linger too much. I do like chat interaction, but at the same time, it's like, okay, can we just speed up a little bit? So I do love this format. Hopefully they stick with this for major events. I'm not suggesting to get rid of the YouTubers in general. I'm just saying maybe we, streamline some of these major updates. So yeah, they're finally talking about their new sortie game mode right here, which I was skeptical on this when they first announced it, but after seeing the mechanics, I am a lot more positive on it. Also, let me just full screen this. But yeah, sortie's a thing. Chaos and save data burden mitigation. TLDR, they are introducing a battle skip function that you can use once daily, which is pretty insane. And then special events and rewards. So right here, they're essentially bringing in brand new mini games into Chaos Zero Nightmare. If you played Honkai Star Rail or Nikkei Goddess of Victory, it's kind of like that, where every big event, yes, it's the regular gameplay session, but on the side, there's this random puzzle, mini game, dice rolling mechanic thing that you're just gonna do for fun. And I do think that's really good for the game. Add some nice diversity in there. And as far as the special rewards go, brother, we're getting a free 5-star combatant, as well as a free 5-star partner of your choice, and 70 free normal pulls to go alongside it. Huge stuff. So yeah, first up we have the sortie content here. I did just skim this, so, this is still somewhat new to me too. Let's check it out, man. Interesting name, by the way.
Status. Signal stable. This mission is far more dangerous than previous operations. Operation name, sortie. The chaos that Protos and agents will enter in sortie.
What's the idea behind sortie? Sorry, am I silly? Yeah, so I looked up the definition of sortie. An attack made by troops coming out from a position of defense. Doesn't really translate well to a roguelike mode, but you know what? I'll take it. That's a minor thing. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of the game.
Operation name, sortie.
And maybe the operation name changes too, right? It doesn't have to stay sortie.
More diverse variables than existing chaos. There is no single answer, and no operation is ever the same. However, the strategy and tactics used to carry out the operation are directly controlled by you, Protos.
I like how they just throw in this Egyptian text. Hey, we don't want to spoil the surprise, so here's just gobbledygook. If this is a real language, I apologize, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this looks like shit you'd see in ancient Egypt.
In sortie, save data is not safe. Instead, rewards will vary depending on how far you progress in a single operation.
Yeah, so right here, it looks like you get to choose what epiphany you want, and you can only pick one. It's okay, do you get the Lucas one? Do you get hers?
The key is to use limited
Gotta
resources
select,
in uncertain
brother.
situations to push deeper into chaos.
Also, the right answer, it's probably just this right here. It's either charge shot or the draw 3. This is obviously draw 3.
Key is to use limited resources in uncertain situations.
Yeah, the
to push deeper
backstab
into
card,
chaos.
not the best.
The chaos entered in sortie consists of 3 areas: outskirts, interior, and depths. And
Yeah,
each
so
area
we've
is
seen that
further divided
before.
into 9, 11, or 13 sectors.
That's pretty much
As
how
you
the
go deeper into
seasonal
chaos, enemy
chaos
threat
runs are
levels
like.
will increase significantly, but in proportion, the agent's power will also expand. Due to severe space-time warp in the chaos entered in sortie, waypoints cannot be used, and
This is tough. You know, waypoints not being utilized, I don't know. Of course, you could just exit the game and you can pick back up where you left off, but not being able to, like, you know, bounce out and do dailies or, you know, replenish your stamina and, you know, get shit done the side or make pulls, that's tough. That is going to be kind of rough.
only 1 combatant can enter at the start of the operation. In the outskirts, you will have 2 combatants. In the interior, 3, and in the final depths, you will proceed with a party.
Yeah, so you have 4 characters by then, which I think is really interesting. I didn't really see how they implemented it yet, because I did see this and I skipped over. But I'm not too sure how I feel about the 4th character not being represented on the top bar. Of course, this is all still a work in progress. It says it right here. It's still in development. So hopefully, you know, they squeeze in the 4th character, because having a 4th, well, I think that's a good idea. I think adding in that 4th character makes it a lot more dynamic. I kind of wish, you know, they're represented in the top.
Of 4 combatants.
Like I said, it's still
Within
early
chaos,
access
you
footage,
can also
so
receive rescue signals from
it could
combatants you
change.
do not currently own. And based on Proto's decision, you will select one of the 3 combatants to join.
And yeah, this is fascinating, by the way. So you can actually use, to my understanding, combatants that you do not have. For me, I pretty much have every character, -2. For some reason, the guys are eluding me. I do not have Kayron and I do not have Luke. I'm going to get those guys with my selector ticket. Of course, hopefully I pull the other one from the normal free pulls, but yeah, I'm finally going to get Kayron, man. I don't think he's any good, but I just want him for collector's sake, right?
Signals from combatants you do not currently own. And based on Proto's decision, you will select one of the 3 combatants to join the operation. The combatant selected when entering chaos and the
Wait, look at this. Unowned combatant Hugo. That makes
you will
sense.
select
5
one of the
star.
3 combatants to join the operation.
But look at this, look at this. Unowned combatant Lucas? Dude, I'm pretty sure everybody has Lucas at like 06, right? I mean, dude, Lucas just will not avoid us. My God. Which I do hope that eventually they add in an update where if you pull a dupe for a 4-star you have maxed out, you get some different currency. I'm not saying we get the selector ticket like you would for the 5-star combatants. I'm just saying something else, brother. You know, I'm, you know, stacking up on these, you know, Tressas, these Selenas, like these Lucases. Get them out of my sight.
Combatant selected when entering chaos, and the first combatant to join inside will join the party with 4 starting cards and a random epiphany card.
A random epiphany,
The 3rd
huh?
combatant will appear with a modified deck, such as having all basic cards removed or certain cards duplicated.
That's cool. And they come with curses. That's so scuffed.
The 4th and final combatant will join the party in a slightly different way. This combatant cannot equip equipment or use ego skills.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this explains why they're probably not in the HUD. They can't have equipment or ego skills. That's not super crazy off rip. It is a nerf, but it's not super absurd.
Additionally, aside from the 2 specific cards they bring upon joining, they cannot acquire additional unique cards.
Oh, they only have 2 cards?
However, since they provide 2 core cards of the character, they can supply key components needed for the party and enhance the overall completeness of the final deck. In sortie, choosing a fate can change the entire strategy of chaos exploration. And you may receive quests that grant powerful rewards upon completion, making it an element that reshapes the overall strategy of chaos exploration. Please remember this above all else.
Oh my God, was that like triple divine epiphanies? I think it was. Yeah, go back a little bit. I think we saw like triple divine epiphanies over here, dude.
Making it an element that reshapes the overall strategy of
Look
chaos
at this. Yeah, which one do you want? Do you want heaven, heaven, or heaven?
Please remember this above all else. What matters in sortie is not immediate gain, but consistent strategic choices.
Yeah, the 4th character is going to be tough. Because I can imagine that a lot of characters will not be good for a 4th pick, especially since you just get 2 cards. It's like, dude, sometimes you're just going to brick with that, or like you're going to have no cohesion.
In sortie operations, the chaos that Protoss will enter may be a far more difficult exploration than before. Inside chaos, even more powerful monsters are constantly waiting to strike. You will encounter new subspecies monsters with special effects, and even in unidentified areas,
Oh.
reach by avoiding them, other problems
monster.
may arise. In hardcore mode, unlike normal mode, the moment HP reaches 0, you will immediately become incapacitated and removed from battle, which may lead to repeated defeats and failed operations. Together with your agents, push as deep into chaos as possible.
I mean, I think that's fine. You know, if you guys play regular chaos, the minute you hit 0 HP anyways, yeah, you have like an extra turn or 2 until you get like executed, but it doesn't really matter. I still think they need to implement a way where when you hit 0 HP and you have like the full breakdown thing go down, you should be able to find a way to restore yourself to like 1 HP or something, man. Like, because if not, like, this is just whatever, right? Just kill us then.
Survival itself will
just
be
kill
the
us.
Let me say this once again. Sortie is not a simulation. It is a real combat filled with unknown dangers. You will face the true nature of chaos, where unpredictable dangers and mysteries intertwine at its very center. If you are ready, lead your agents and command the operation. Even in despair, find the answers to overcome it, Protos. Transmission terminated.
I like it, man. Yeah, Sortie looks amazing. Like I said, I was very skeptical on Sortie when they first announced it, but I think it is unique enough to have a reason to exist. Yeah, true fun of deck building roguelikes. The real question is just like, you know, why would you do this? Because you don't really get your save data out of this run. So instead, the reward's gotta be fucking crazy. Yeah, so it looks like they're kind of just explaining the same thing again.
그러면 어떤 방식으로 플레이가 될지, 난이도는 또 어떤지 이런 게 또 궁금합니다.
최대 지옥 난이도까지 존재합니다.
The maximum difficulty is hell mode. Oh no, this. Yeah, they're bringing this in from like all those boss fights. Yeah, like little buffs. That's tough. Those penalties always F me up, dude.
난이도를 더 높일수록 더 높은 보상을 받을 수 있습니다. 또한 보다 높은 난이도를 원하시는 퍼스트 여러분들을 위해 하드코어 모드라는 게 존재하는데요.
Yeah, you can be in hell mode and hardcore mode at the same time.
즉시 사망 처리되며 추가적인 페널티 요소들이 함께 적용되기 때문에 훨씬 더 긴장감 있는 점수를 경험하실 수 있습니다. 보다 극한의 도전을 원하시는 퍼스트 여러분들께서는 하드코어 모드에 도전해보시면 좋겠습니다. 이런 식으로 운명을 통해 복제, 제거를 비롯해 게임 내 강력한 효과들을 획득할 수 있습니다. 기존 카수와는 다르게 이 운명 효과들은 엘리트 몬스터들을 처치할 때마다 무작위로 획득 가능하며 각 시작에서는 출격 전용
Oh, you defeat an elite monster and you get a fate now. Oh, wow.
희귀 운명을 획득할 수도 있습니다.
Yeah, that makes it worth it. Whoa, what is that? Was that a new epiphany?
강력한 희귀 운명을
Yeah, this is a new epiphany. Damn, dude. Who's that guy from JJK that has like all the fingers? It's the guy that Yuji kills. Yeah, it reminds me of him. That's sick.
신규 재화인 검은 물질을 획득할 수 있습니다.
Mahito.
검은 물질을 통해 세이브
Oh yeah, here we go. Rewards.
구매하실 수 있는데요. 복제, 제거, 그리고 심
There are various currencies prepared that you can use for duplicate, remove,
할 수 있는 여러 가지 재화들이
and even divine epiphanies. Okay. I see. Okay, so doing Sortie actually really matters. Because right now, remanifestation is so crack, dude. Because some runs, you know, you'll finish it off, you have like really good cards, but there's just like one card that isn't meta, right? So it's like, man, you just use remanifestation, you switch up the epiphany, and you're good to go. This is absurd. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah, these are all the epiphanies. And then this, I'm assuming, is the new one. What is this? Have we seen this one before? Sorry. You know, off rip, I recognize like the first four. The last two, I'm like, huh? Drawing a blank. Yeah, this one is definitely the finger one, though.
저도 제일 갖고 싶은 아이템입니다.
와, 이런 핵심 자원을 주는
Jeez, that's so broken when you think about it. Yeah, plus 1 AP to like every card you have. Yeah, it's gonna be really important to grind Sortie. There's gotta be like a monthly limit to it.
카오스를 탐사하며 내가 원하는 다양한 덱을 만들어가는 과정 자체를 퍼스트 여러분들께서 카제나의 본질적인 재미로 느끼고 즐겨주셨던 것 같습니다. 다만 대균열을 위해 카오스를 반복적으로 플레이하는 경험이 누적되면서 점차 카오스의 목적이 특정하고 효율적인 세이브 데이터를 완성하는 데 집중되었습니다. 이번 어라이즈 업데이트에서는 플레이 전반의 피로도는 낮추고 세이브 데이터를 완성해 나가는 만족감은 더욱 높여서 원하는 덱을 보다 빠르게 구성할 수 있는 경험에 집중했습니다.
Yeah, they're gonna make chaos runs a lot faster.
직접 설명해 준다고 합니다. 그럼 저희는
I do like this. Look. They switch over to their game studio.
안녕하세요. 시스템 기자 차주현입니다. 그간 여러분들께서 카오스를 플레이하며 제로 시스템에 쌓아주신 데이터를 바탕으로 개발팀과 일레인이 함께 게임 플레이를 조금 더 가볍고 편하게 즐기실 수 있도록 개선을 준비했습니다. 이름만 들었을 때는 여타 다른 소탕 개념처럼 느껴지실 수도 있을 것 같은데요. 조금 더
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. Like when I saw this battle skip mode, I thought it'd simply be like autoplay. Like, oh, like, you know, autoplay would be nice. Just you hop in chaos, tap where you want to go, autoplay. No, you literally speed run through chaos mode with this.
처음에는 로그라이크 특유의
Like, check this out, dude.
다 새로운 재미를 만들어줬지만 어느 순간부터 카오스의 스팟들이 원하는 덱을 완성하기 위한 통과 과정처럼 느껴지는 경우가 많아졌습니다. 카오스 플레이의 시간적 부담과 반복 파밍으로
Oh,
피로는
bad card, by the way.
직접 세이브 데이터를 다듬어가는 재미는
That upgrade is not that good.
전투 스킵 방식으로 개선을 진행했습니다.
I think it's like one fortitude, one resolve.
경로를 하나하나 탐색하는 대신 가능한 선택지를 미리 분석해 가장 효율적인 루트만 빠르게 따라갈 수 있게 됩니다.
Yeah,
이러한
look,
걸
look,
하나씩
look, look.
열어놓는 과정이나 연출은 생략되고 바로
Skip.
다음 선택지로 넘어가며
Done.
빠르게 진행할 수 있습니다.
That is so crazy.
결과와 보상까지 짧은 시간 안에 확인할 수 있도록 구성했습니다. 이처럼 전체적인 흐름을 압축해 세이브 데이터 파밍 과정에서 느껴지는 피로도를 줄이는 데 초점을 맞췄습니다.
This really will make grinding so much easier.
재화를 사용해 강화한 업그레이드나 환경 변수 그리고 코덱스를 통해 얻은 효과들까지 모두 동일하게 적용되기 때문에 기존에 쌓아온 성장과 세팅이 이 모드에서도 그대로 이어지게 됩니다. 다만 이러한 특성 때문에 몇 가지 유의하실 점이 있습니다. 전투 스킨 모드는 퍼스트 여러분들이 지위를 보조하는 형태이기 때문에 현재 구성된 파티와 세팅을 기반으로 결과가 빠르게 계산됩니다. 따라서 너무 실험적인 파티를 사용
Yeah, so here's a big thing. While there is battle skip, your characters still have to be somewhat cohesive. You can't just throw in, I don't know, like, what's a good example of like a bad deck? I guess just like triple controller with like no real attacks. Like if you did that, you wouldn't be able to battle skip. You'd just probably die.
하시거나 무리하게 카드 제거를 진행하신 경우에는 실패로 이어지는 원하지 않는 전투 결과가 나올 수 있습니다.
Yeah, you can
빠른 진행에
fail the
초점이
battle
맞춰진
skips,
모드인
which makes
만큼 어느 정도
sense.
안정적인 구성을 전제로 했을 때 가장 효율적으로 활용하실 수 있다는 점 참고해 주시기 바랍니다.
Yeah, and notice like he's just saying you need a reasonably stable setup. It doesn't have to be like a broken meta setup. It just has to be reasonably stable.
두 번째로 소개드릴 내용은 대균열과 관련된 내용입니다. 정말 큰 변화 중 하나인데요. 이번 흔하게 제 시즌 3의 대균열부터 사용할 수 있는 세이브 데이터의 시즌 제한이 완화됩니다.
This is
그래서
good.
일주일 넘게 카오스를 반복하며 파밍.
Yeah, this is so good, dude. I hated grinding. Well, it's kind of like a necessity, right? You need to grind in some games. It makes sense. It keeps players coming back for more. But grinding save data for every single character, every season, getting the same deck, it's kind of painful. Of course, you know, every season they introduce a new thing. Season 2, we had like the upgradable armor, and then season 3 are the persona cards. And it's like, yeah, I'm glad that it's finally just like, hey, you can use save data from previous seasons. That's nice.
나의 완벽한 세이브 데이터가 막상 다음 시즌 대균열에 가면 무용지물이 되고 시뮬레이션에만 소비되는 경험은 반드시 개선될 필요가 있다고 생각했습니다. 이제는 이전 시즌에서 활약했던 세이브 데이터들을 활용해 해정을 갖고 만든 나만의 덱을 언제든지 사용해 대균열에 도전할 수 있게 됩니다. 저도 제 허기니아를 다시
Which I will admit, it kind of sucks that they're announcing this now. Because I actually deleted all my previous seasonal save data, which is definitely a me problem, but, you know, hear me out, man. If I can only use it in simulations, I'm never going to use these things, man.
조금 설레네요.
Like, simulations are so easy. They need to buff that, too.
사용하는 새로운 재미를 느낄 뿐 아니라 새로운 시즌이 열릴 때마다 대균열 보스를 공략하기 위해
Simulations need to be
매번 세이브
buffed.
데이터를 새로 완성해야 했던 부담도 함께 완화할 수 있을 것으로 기대하고 있습니다.
Spiral Tower
업데이트를
screens.
통해 절규의 나선 탑 베타가 종료되고 정식 서비스가
I'm
시작됩니다.
excited for this. I want the
정식 오픈에
stickers.
맞춰 실제로 탑을 한 층씩 올라가는 듯한
Also, I like the UI. Look at this. Look at this. It's like climbing an actual fighting game tower.
정식으로 오픈되는 절규의 나선 탑에서는 기존처럼 한 세력으로만 구성된 전투가 아니라 서로 다른 세력의 적들이 연속으로 등장하게 됩니다. 이로 인해 특정 컨셉이나 기믹에만 특화된 팀보다는 다양한 상황에 유연하게 대응할 수 있는
And yeah, it looks like they made the tower
층을 거듭할수록
harder, dash more diverse now.
안정성과 대응력을 함께 고려한 전략적인 팀성이 필요합니다. 또한 이번 나선 탑에서는 턴 제한이 없는 전투가 진행됩니다. 이로 인해 기존 콘텐츠에서는
And there's no more
활용하기
time
어려웠던
limit.
실드 덱과 같은 구성들도 이번 절규의 나선 탑에서는 충분히 경쟁력 있는 선택지가 될 수 있을 것으로 기대하고 있습니다. 지금까지 사용 빈도가 낮았던 전략들을
Oh my god, that guy had 60,000 HP.
생각합니다. 특히
Holy crap, yeah, dude. Spiral Tower was tough.
도전하게 될 만큼
It goes up to 75 right now. And even at 75, it's like, dude, some of these bosses will actually just one-shot you.
여러분만의 전략과 플레이 스타일이 그대로 드러나는 콘텐츠인 만큼 충분히 고민해 구성한 최적의 팀으로 도전해 보시기 바랍니다. 그리고 절규의 나선 탑에서만 획득할 수 있는 특별한 보상도 함께 준비되어 있습니다. 단순한 도전을 넘어 정상까지 등반하는 과정
I hope they buff the
하나의
rewards.
성취로 느껴질 수 있도록
Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Look, 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 look. Finally, you can get the stickers. Thank God.
도전하시며 보상
So what does this look like?
해보시길 바랍니다.
What is this screen? Oh, you have to hit 150 with the character. Oh my God. Yeah, a big theory was that you just had to hit like level 100. If you have to hit 150 to get the sticker, I'm cooked. You know, level 75 was already kind of tough. 150, that's asking for a lot, brother. That's asking for a lot. Whew.
하시는 게 더 유리하다고 판단해서 단순한 소탕이 아니라 이제 전투 스킨만 제공하는 일종의 모드고요.
그러면 전투 스킨 모드를 뭐 얼마나 할 수 있는 거예요? 그 제한 있나요?
전투 스킨 모드는 매일 1회.
Yeah, you can only use battle skip mode once a day, which sounds limiting, but keep in mind, most people only do one chaos run a day anyways. So this is perfect.
맞습니다.
사실 그럴 때가
This is
있거든요.
perfect.
하루에 퇴근하고 딱 집에 와서 카우스 한 판 하려고 하는데 너무 피곤한 거예요. 그렇죠. 너무 길어.
맞습니다.
너무 힘드니까 그래도 오늘 어떤 일종의 미션을 좀 해야 되니까
맞아요.
하고 싶은데 그럴 때 이런 전투 스킨 모드를 활용을 하면
I love that, dude. These devs, they really listen to feedback.
그래서 도움이 많이 되겠네요.
네, 맞습니다.
알겠습니다.
And this is going to sound silly. We'll get to it at the very end of this video. But there's one thing that they did, or two things that they did, that I am like super happy about.
이렇게 해서 퍼스트분들께서 남겨주신 피드백을 기반으로
I think we were
여러
definitely
경험과
lacking in those
의견을
departments.
앞으로도 플레이하시면서 여러 커뮤니티에 다양하게 의견을
Sorry, it's like a dick tease, right? Just,
앞서 말씀드린
hey,
것처럼
this is
정리를
great.
하면
We'll talk about it
우선
later.
플레이의 피로도를 낮추기 위해서 자동 전투인 전투 스킨 모드가 추가가 되고 대균열의 세이브 데이터 사용이 완화가 될 예정이고
Amazing
별개의
content.
전투함이 드디어 정식 출시되면서 더 고도화된 세이브 데이터 활용처가 업데이트가 된다. 맞나요?
맞습니다.
Oh yeah, that is true. Spiral Tower Screams is great for just any seasonal save data.
나이트메어는
That was one good place to put it in use minus
완성된 세이브
simulations.
데이터를 활용한 다양한 도전하는 재미 모두를
And,
만들 수 있는
Basin,
그런
right?
게임으로 나가고자 합니다.
좋습니다.
Basin is
그러면
funny.
이번 업데이트의 핵심적인
I think Basin does need a big overhaul.
기대하실 수 있는 은하계제 시즌 3와 관련된 내용들을 소개해드리도록 하겠습니다.
뭐 사실 다른 내용들보다는 이 내용을 더 기다리셨을 퍼스트 여러분들도 많으셨을 것 같은데요.
저도 사실은 좀 기대가 그리고 또
That's a nice setup, by the way, dude. Look at the jets they have.
관심이 쏠리고
My
있는데
God.
어떤 내용이 준비되어 있는지
It's like they're live streaming from the future. That's crazy. All right, here we go. Season 3. If you guys haven't seen this trailer yet, I'll go ahead and shut up. It is beautiful.
ナイトメア号にステラステージ公演のセキュリティ責任を引き受けていただきたいんです。華やかな照明の上にはいつもさらに濃い影が落ちるものです。遠くから見れば喜劇、近くで見れば悲劇。ささやかな慰めの瞬間が誰かの悪意で塗りつぶされて、夢見る少女の小さな世界が壊されてしまうのを防ぐために。だから私は剣を握るんです。
The animation is beautiful. I know I said I was going to shut up, but dude, look at this. Look at this. You know, as a Chaos Zero Nightmare fan that plays a lot of other gacha games, I felt like some of our PVs weren't the best.
あの選択が
This is
最善だ
nice.
ったの。あの時もし違う選択をしていたら、これって待って、
Like the effing Warrior of Light, yeah.
ごめんなさい。
Flashbacks of your old friends.
私はせ
And that's your partner right there.
取り戻せないと
Got some nice Yuri going
バ
on.
カみたいにしがみついていた時間が小さな奇跡を作り出せるのなら、喜んで再び剣を掲げます。
And she is limited, by the way. This isn't a character that's going to show up in the normal banners afterwards. She is limited. Just like Serenial.
은하계제 시즌 3에
And we all know how busted Serenial is, so you're definitely going to want to pull her.
익숙하면서도 새로운 요원들과 앞으로 펼쳐질 사건들을 영상으로 먼저 만나보셨는데 어떠셨나요? 영상 마지막에 소개되었듯이 은하계제 시즌 3의 정식 명칭은 은하에 울리는 노래소리입니다. 이번 시즌에선
A lot of boobage going on there, huh?
은하 최대 아이돌 공연이 열리게 되고 그
Kinda
공연에서
sad,
카오스 교단의
but we'll admit,
운명이 펼쳐지게 됩니다.
Happy
카오스 교단이 어떤
because I can now
플레이를
play
펼칠지,
CZ on my
그리고
phone in
어떤
public.
플레이일지 궁금한 점이 많으시겠지만 그것보다 먼저 이야기를 이끌어갈 주역들이
I don't know if you guys remember when Yuki was in the store.
우선
when she was released.
요원은
Every time you go to the store, it's just
시민들의 영웅인
get Yuki
하이데마리.
bending over. It's like, oh my god.
에덴티노는
I was like, let me just tilt my phone a little bit, you know?
그리고 핵심 시설들이 모여 있는 중앙구역 센트럴의 시장실에서 하이데마리가 여러분을 기다리고 있습니다.
Haida Marie. Interesting name.
프로세스 및 운영을 총괄하고 있는 아트실 실장 김탁곤입니다. 이번 반주년을
Yeah, so this is the art about Haida Marie. And you can actually see the concept art they were working with beforehand. I'm glad they landed on this design. The initial designs,
하이데마리는 처음 기획 단계부터
they were
카제나의
initial.
조준에 어울리는 특별함을 목표로 준비한 캐릭터입니다. 그만큼 다양한 시간이 있었고 여러 차례 디벨롭을 거쳐 지금의 모습으로 완성되었습니다. 부드러운 라임색의 머리카락과
Dude.
강렬한
Yeah, this first one, I don't know, man. The dress isn't really doing it for me. The hair, I don't know. This one was just kind of silly. It felt very generic. This one wasn't as bad. But of course, I think the finale of Haida Marie is
여기에
perfect.
카지나만의 SF
Like,
요소를
look
함께
at
녹여
this.
누구에게나 매력적으로 느껴질 수 있도록 디자인하기 위해 최선을 다했습니다. 전체적인 실루엣과 인상은 시장으로서의 우아함과 권위가 자연스럽게 드러나도록 했고 그와는 반대로 귀엽고 덤벙거리는 성격도 또 하나의 매력으로 느껴질 수 있도록 설정했습니다. 전투와
I wonder what her
매력을
wallpaper is gonna look
보여주는
like.
무기와 전투 모션도 중요한 요소였습니다. 하이데마리가 사용하는 빛의 검은 단순한 대검이 아니라 하나하나가 그녀의 과거 동료들과 얽힌 이야기를 담고 있는 상징적인 장비입니다. 이러한 감정적인 서사를 살리기 위해 대검들은 유리처럼 투명하고 아름답지만 금방이라도
Also, I'm gonna be honest, guys.
새로운 질감으로 표현했고
While I
하얀
have
색을 마치 누군가를
busted through pretty much
기리는
all the
것처럼
CZN
보이도록
content,
여러분들께서 가장 궁금해하실
I've never paid
에버스킨
attention to the story.
이러한 요소들을 더욱
You know, they
대안을
did say that they're gonna
확인할 수
revamp the entirety of the story.
있습니다. 시즈널 캐릭터에 대해 큰 기대를
There
가지실
is
것이라
no mention of it in
생각합니다.
this
그 기대에
video,
불과하시도록
to my
아티스트도 정말 많은
knowledge.
고민과 노력을 담았습니다. 하이데마리의 많은 관심과 사랑 부탁드립니다.
I'm assuming the
감사합니다.
seasonal stories still matter, but like the base story, that's being tossed to the wind, man. That's why we're still like stuck on what, chapter 3 or something? And yeah, they're just showing the PV again. Oh yeah, and that's her, I believe, like, her ultimate skill. And then the ego skill, I think we see a glimpse of later. Yeah, that's the linking mechanic. So essentially, to my knowledge, you use one of those linked cards, and it can link more than just her cards. You can link all your Quietus cards or exhaust dirge bullets, and they all get discarded. Kind of crazy. Hopefully she has good draw power to go alongside it, but we'll see. Yeah, that's her skill. And then, are we gonna show the ego? Did I miss the ego? Did I like blink or something? Yeah, well, we'll see the ego later. The ego is like when she turns around, you see like a hockey blast coming out of her sword. It's cool.
런칭 이후 레인저 클래스의 등장이 없어 많은 분들께서 기다리고 계셨을 것 같은데요. 이번 두 번째 시즈널 전투원 하이데마리가 열정 속성 레인저 클래스로 여러분들께 찾아올 예정입니다. 하이데마리는
She's a
신규 키워드인
ranger.
연결을 중심으로 전투팀 내부에서 여러 방향의 고민을 거쳐 설계된 전투원입니다.
Passion ranger at that. We needed more passion characters, even though we just got one.
피니시 스킬까지 보유하고 있습니다. 연결은 말 그대로 카드들이 하나로 이어져 움직이는 개념의 키워드입니다. 핸드에서 연결된 카드 중 하나를 사용하면 해당 카드가 무덤으로 이동할 때 연결된 다른 카드들 역시 함께 무덤으로 이동하게 됩니다. 이 연결 키워드를 설계하는 과정에서 직관성과 복잡도 완화를 가장 중요하게 고려했습니다. 이름만 보고도 동작이 자연스럽게 떠오를 수 있도록 구성했고 반복적으로 여러 장의 카드를 직접 사용하는 부담을 줄이면서도 여러 카드가 한 번에 퍼지는 경쾌한 전투 경험을 전달하고자 했습니다. 그 과정에서
I love how all these characters kind of flow with one another. Like she was definitely made for the last passion character we got.
들으시면 연결된 카드 중 하나만 사용할 수 있다는 점이 하나의 공격 카드를 사용하더라도 연결된 카드들이
Yeah, look, you just discard all of Diana's abilities right there.
공격으로 이어지게 됩니다. 또 하나의 핵심 카드인 극광 응축은 하이데마리 전투의 클라이맥스를 담당하는 카드입니다. 이 아이디어가 여러 카드가 연결되어 함께 움직이는 연결 키워드와 잘 맞아떨어지면서 현재의 전투 구조로 구체화하게 되었습니다. 이 과정에서 하이데마리의 무기인 극광검이 전투의 중심에서 더욱 돋보일 수 있도록 전투의 선봉에서 싸우던 영웅의 모습을 다시 체감하실 수 있도록 경쾌하면서 몰입감 있는 전투
Her damage looked kind of low, but of course, again, this is early footage.
에데니티오의 영웅
Well, we'll see,
하이데마리아
we'll see.
특징으로는 그녀의 성실한 비서인 실비아가 등장할 예정인데요.
Sylvia looks nice. I think Sylvia is a great looking partner.
모든 제안을
I wasn't a big fan of the last one we got alongside Diana. Sylvia looks cool.
이야기가 진행되면서 발표될 예정입니다. 시즌 1과 시즌 2가 각각 니일럼과 세크레드의 번역에서
Yeah, and I believe this is the second character we're getting in season 3.
새로운 신이 본격적으로 모습을 드러낼 예정입니다. 에데니티오의 개척기지 근처에서 개화한 카오스, 허상의
Which, if you pay attention to the leaks, this character's already kind of been like, you know, floating around.
에데니티오에 찾아오게 되는데 뉴스티티아오 소속의
Personally, not the biggest fan of her. Adelheid. Also, I'm just like speaking as if she is like the next character. I think she is. Yeah, it's kind of whatever on her. She's a character people have been waiting for since before launch, is what he said. I have not seen a lot of Adelheid hype. I think some of her cards are like floating around online, so you can kind of see what she's generally about. Of course, that was like a long time ago, so her cards could have changed since the leaks, but yeah, I think she's whatever. But I'll pull anyways, right? I like having all the characters. And then here we have it, Tenebria. This is what everybody's waiting for. This is what I want to pull. And I'm assuming the blue-haired girl's her partner.
왠지 모르게 익숙함이 느껴지는 이름입니다. 그렇지 않나요?
I don't play Epic 7, so I don't really get like the whole lore behind it, but apparently it's a character that's, you know, been in their games before. So that's kind of cool.
그렇다면 마지막으로 이 무대에 오르기 전 우리가 헤쳐나가야 무대 장치.
You know, in a way, it's like a pseudo collab, which I am still waiting for the day we do get collabs in CZN.
신규 카오스, 허상의 극장에서는
Who would we even collab with? I think Nikkei would be a great one. Two Korean-based developers. That'd be dope. And then we could send one of our, you know, protos over there too. One of our combatants. Also, there's the new boss.
각인 효과를 제공하는 새로운 미확인 교육을 통해 카드 본연의 전제력을 한계까지 끌어올려 보시기 바랍니다.
I like the new setting a lot.
시즌 3 테마를 살린 특별한
I like the new setting a lot more than the Battlefield. Also here, look. This is what I was excited for. I know a lot of people will not care for this at all, but I do like the mini game, board game things that a lot of these gacha games have on the side. I think it's just nice diversity. It just breaks up, you know, the gameplay a little bit more. I think this is fantastic, and this is a step in the right direction. People might not agree with me. You know, I think a lot of people in other games do not like this in general, but you gotta admit, it does have a purpose there, and it does bring people in.
시즌 후반에는 스텔라 스테이지의 공연을 직접 체험해 볼 수 있는 특별한 미니 게임도 준비하고 있습니다.
Hopefully they start doing that more often with all these seasons. That is my hope.
차가운 안개 그리고 그 속에서 펼쳐지는 비극의 연극 은하에 울리는 노래소리에서 펼쳐질 이야기를 기대해 주시기 바랍니다.
저는 다 좋아요. 앞에 내용 다 좋은데 다 까먹. 아니 농담이고요. 까먹진 않았지만
네.
그만큼 하이데 마리가
그쵸.
인상적이다. 이 머리색부터 해서
전투원이 주인공이죠. 항상.
맞아요.
Okay, now they're just gonna compliment her. Okay.
저희가 정말 저희
I
개발팀
might like skip ahead a little bit.
그리고 테네브리아.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So Adelheid is confirmed as like the second character.
그래서 정말 열심히 제작하고 있으니까.
Interesting. We haven't really seen Adelheid's partner. I guess we did. You know, in that trailer there was a girl behind her, so that might be the partner.
많은 기대를.
So that'll be interesting to see.
네, 그리고 4월 22일에는 하이데 마리아
Yeah.
스토리가 담긴.
Here's the schedule. So this I think sucks. So Hyde Marie doesn't come out until the 29th, which from recording of this video, that is like what, 12 days away, 11 days away. That is awful, dude. You know, preseason, it's cool that we get a taste of the Persona cards, but at the same time, it's like, dude, we are lacking content. Maybe that's just me because I like speedrun all the content. Firebreak is kind of whatever. Glad I could finally put like, you know, useless save data to use. But aside from that, it's like, man, I don't know, dude. Of course, we have like that other thing where, you know, you're supposed to get like the 9 stars. That's cool. But at this point, it's like, man, 12 days of like no real other content options. That's rough. Now I'm just like grinding up like materials, right? Just getting ready for Hyde Marie. But 11 days is tough. I don't want to call it a drought because I feel like some people are still like, you know, getting through the content as we speak, but it's kind of a drought, right? If you're like an avid Chaos Zero Nightmare player,
중요한 소식이 있어요.
desert.
하프 애니버서리 이벤트와 보상 얘기를 이제 해야죠.
이게 또 엘드님이 그동안 또 같이 고생했잖아요.
Also, I did mention this earlier, but again, what I really like about Season 3's Chaos Zone is that it's more horror focused.
기념 추석 체크가
I think the game should lean more towards the horror focus than anything. I mean, of course, the girls, but horror too.
진행됩니다. 뭐 크리스탈, 프리즘 렌즈, 뭐 구출 랭크 이런 거 너무 뻔하잖아요.
약간 이제 기본이죠.
야, 되시잖아요.
Yeah, here we go. Now they're talking about the special rewards. This is crazy.
많아야겠죠. 이거 너무 기본이죠. 그래서 준비했습니다. 5성 전투원 선택권.
Yeah, 5-star combatant selection ticket and then a 5-star partner selection ticket, dude.
준비했습니다.
Dude.
선택권입니다.
와, 5성.
I do suggest to not actually use these until you spend your 70 free summons that they're going to talk about here in a second. Because you could pull who you want in those first. And then, you know, if obviously you use the 5-star selection ticket first, you might just get a dupe, which if you want to dupe, that's fine. But if you're aiming for multiple characters, if you're missing multiple people, you don't want to do
두
that.
개를 더 추가로 준비했습니다.
그 전투원 하나, 파트원 하나.
선택권입니다.
와, 5성.
Yeah, be patient, be patient.
파트너 하나, 선택권이요?
Hold on to these.
하지만 여기서 끝이 아니죠.
당연히 끝이 아니죠. 맞습니다. 매일 7일간
Yeah, this right here.
10회 무료도 제공해드립니다.
70회.
맞습니다.
For 7 days, you get 70 free pulls. Guys, wait to use your tickets until after you realize that you have not pulled the character you wanted.
맞습니다. 전투 5성 전투원 2명, 5성 파트너 하나.
와, 이번에 굉장히 힘을 썼네요.
맞습니다.
역시 하프 애니버서리.
이 정도 준비해야죠. 그동안 사랑에 보답하기 위해서.
그런 건 어때요?
Yeah, that's a really good reward.
제가 다음에 이 자리에 있을까요? 저 마음은 너무 하고 싶은데
네네.
준비 기간이 필요하다 보니까.
그렇군요. 근데 이번에 진짜 통 크게 선택권도 주고 그리고 매일 구출하는 것도 이벤트도 하고 좋네요. 시작해봐야겠다. 이렇게 생각하는 퍼스트분들도 많을 텐데 그런 신규 퍼스트분들에게 주는 어떤 혜택이 없을까요?
This is big too.
아무래도 이제
I do think that they
신규
should
퍼스트
cater the game to new players.
그동안
We need to bring new
보상
players
많이
into the game.
거기 때문에
And with this anniversary being so all-encompassing, I think this will be good for the game's longevity. We need it.
총 20번 하신 다음에 그 중에서 내가 원하는 전투원이 나온 그런 결과물들을 선택해서 이제 얻으실 수 있는 그런 선별 구출입니다.
그리고 선별 시스템이 새롭게 들어가니까 새롭게 시작하는 분들도 한번 처음부터 전투원을 여러분들 인게임 보상뿐만이 아니라요 이번 하프 애니버서리를 기념해서 글로벌 전역에 있는 퍼스트 여러분들이
Offline events. Okay, yeah, this part we'll kind of skip around. Essentially, there's gonna be, you know, maid cafes and little meet and greets around the world. I think it's LA, Korea, and Ikebukuro, Japan. And it's funny because I was in Japan like 2 weeks ago, and they do have these for other gacha games too. So Chaos Zero Nightmare getting one only 6 months in, I think is massive. This is good for the game. You know, you don't have to really participate in this, but just know that this is good for the game in general, right? You know, there's nothing bad that can come from the good old meet and greets and maid cafes, which we will skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, Seoul, LA, Japan. They do sell like little pop-up shop items too.
저도 맨날 제
Nice stuff,
여러분들께
nice stuff.
감사합니다, 죄송합니다 하기 때문에 직접 만나서 이 말을 전해드리고자 최대한 많은 오프라인 행사에 참여할 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
그러면 뭐 한국에서는 또 가게 되면 엘드님 만날 수 있나요?
그럴 것 같습니다.
That would be cool. I hope these events do well.
만날 수 있으면 좋을 것 같고.
Obviously, I do not live in any of these areas, so I'm not gonna be able to go. I'm not a big traveler.
그리고 코스플레이 이벤트든
But,
다양한 이벤트가
yeah,
있으니까
if I was there,
그런
just know I'd
굿즈들도
go.
준비 중이라고 합니다. 그래서 각 행사 장소들.
Oh, yeah, and they're talking about the merch,
굿즈들이 다 다르다고 해요.
which you got like keychains, charms. Oh, and here's the code, by the way, that I talked about earlier. Did I get it right? CZN0418 Arise. Yep. Do that for 1,000 crystals. Enter that in game.
들어주시면 좋을 것 같기는 하거든요.
아주
And now here we go.
뭐 예를 들어서
This is the
지금
roadmap.
저희가 런칭 전보다 더
They're pushing even harder now than they were before launch. That is true. These guys are working overtime.
더 박차를 가고
You don't see it, but they're actually whipping their boys in the office right now.
스토리 개편.
Yes, this is it. Oh, they do talk about it. Wow. Okay, sorry. Like I said earlier, I skipped around when I was like watching this because I just woke up from a nap and I was like really far behind. But yes, look at that. Story revamp update July 8th. Guys, they're getting rid of Owen. It's so funny. I don't know if you guys like follow CZN on Twitter, but they had a thing where they were like, hey, here's profile pictures of all the breakdowns. They had every character except for Owen. Dude, they really said F this kid. Which, I mean, I don't really care. You know, the whole thing about Owen, the controversy, it's a big meme. But it is funny that, you know, I think the devs do regret bringing Owen into the game. And I think that does translate to us not getting a lot of male characters, which I do want male characters. I kind of want more monster characters even. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Will we get it one day? We'll see. We'll see.
드디어 이뤄집니다.
드디어 진행이 되는 거죠.
네, 지금 한참 성우 녹음 중이기 때문에.
I think they're just trying to avoid another Owen situation.
그래서 저희가
They're going to be very picky. Yeah, July 8th. That's a while away, huh?
이번 업데이트를 통해서
It's like season 4.
스토리 쪽에 대한 개선도 함께 이루어지는 것 같고 정말
Will that be season 4?
만나보셔도
I think that's like halfway into season 4, maybe.
전투 스킨 모드에 대해서 말씀드렸는데 전투 스킨 모드가 이제 전투가 자동으로 진행된다고 말씀드렸잖아요.
네.
사실 그러면 좀 어색하거든요. 미확인 구역은 내가 직접 플레이하는데 전투만 자동으로 돌아가는 게.
네.
그래서 미확인 구역도 자동으로 돌아가는 한마디로 전투 스킨 모드를 사용하면 그냥 아예 새로운 모드처럼 느껴지게 텍스트 로그라이크 형태의 일종 모드 같은 그렇게 개선을 준비하고 있거든요.
네, 그러면
A text-based roguelike mode. I think that's cool.
끝낼 수 있는 형태의 카오스 탐사 그리고 집중해서 극한의 난이도를 계속해서 도전할 수 있는 출격 뭐 이렇게 구분이 된 건가요?
맞습니다. 그래서 이제 뭐 라이트하게 즐기시고 싶은 퍼스트 여러분들께서는 출격을 재밌게 이제 로그라이크 즐기시고 기존의 카오스는 이제 텍스트 로그라이크 형태로 가볍게 즐기실 수 있게 개선할 예정이고.
Yeah, they're gonna reimagine chaos to be more text-based whenever you're like skipping stuff. That's really nice. I do like that.
기대가 되는데 하나만 더.
It's a good way to like diversify the content. You know, with Swordy kind of being like an enhanced version of chaos, you got to change up chaos a little bit more just to really divide the game modes. I think that is a big boost, a big W.
최근에 이 내용에 대해서 혹시 카오스 제로 나이트메어도 이거 나오지 않을까라고 기대하신 분들이 많으셨을 것 같은데.
And look at this, look at this, look at this. I saw this one. Look. A multiplayer mode. No date. I think that's fine. But bringing in multiplayer mode into a gacha game, I think is really scary sometimes. For CZN, I think this could work really well. But for some other games where it's like PvP focused, I think it becomes a big downside because then you're just losing to the whales, right? But because this game is mainly PvE thus far, you know, could change in the future. I could see it being like Slay the Spire 2. If you guys played Slay the Spire 2, it does have a multiplayer mode where you and a bunch of other people hop in with your characters and then you just go through the tower. I think if multiplayer for CZN is like that, that will be a lot of fun. And then hopefully, you know, they throw in a bunch of new random cards there. They force people to get like, I don't know, neutral cards. Make it chaotic. I think this will be a big W. And again, you know, it could push people to spending more money and, you know, doing more polls for characters like, oh, you're playing multiplayer and this guy has Diana. Oh my God, they carried us with Diana. I want Diana now, right? I think multiplayer in general is just going to be a big win.
저 이거 재밌을 것 같아요.
전 세계에 있는 퍼스트 여러분들과 뭐 나 혼자만 즐기는 게 아니라 같이.
And again, you know, if you want a taste as to what this could look like, Slay the Spire 2, great roguelike game. It has multiplayer. Give it a try.
수 있는 그런 멀티플레이 모드를 준비 중에 있으니 이것 또한 중간에 개발자 아웃을 통해서 퍼스트 여러분들께 준비 상황을 전달해 드리도록.
Yeah, they're going to share development progress. They're going to get feedback. That's good.
카오스 플레이도 변화가 되고.
Join the Discord. All that good stuff.
자, 이렇게 해서 오늘 쇼케이스 모두 마무리가 되었는데요.
Is that it?
그동안 한결같이 카오스 제로
I think that's it. Okay.
주시는 퍼스트 여러분들 덕분에 개발팀 모두
Yeah, this is where I stopped skimming because like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to sleep.
준비하면서 개발과 운영 모든 카제나 팀이 퍼스트 여러분들
I'm afraid I'm gonna skip too far ahead and they're gonna like say something important.
보상을 준비하기 위해 최선을 다했고 그 준비한 결과물을 직접 퍼스트 여러분들에게 소개하고 싶었습니다. 다시 한번 진심으로.
Okay, I think that's it.
방송에도 또 라이브에서는 카오스 제로 나이트메어
Minus like the one extra thing
해야죠.
I wanted to show you guys. What is this?
하프 애니메이터니 감사합니다.
That's cool. Okay. Nice. Oh, here's the like Hyde Marie VA. Cool animations, not bad. I hope that, you know, as time goes on, they said they're working on fully voiced breakdowns. I hope they add in more animations to the characters too. This is gonna sound silly. I'll turn it back to normal speed so we get like the proper, you know, sound for it. I think that CZN should have more music. You could be asking Side, that is like the most mundane nothing burger thing out there. I get it, right? But when it comes to like a lot of gacha games, you know, popular ones at that, one, they have like the Maid Cafe stuff, live meet and greets, that's cool. Two, they have like the little mini games, like the little, you know, board game we're getting with season 3. And 3, they have good OSTs, and hopefully we can start changing the OSTs in the main menu. I think that would be a massive win. Of course, we're still early on in the game's life cycle, so, you know, the amount of OSTs we actually have right now are very limited. But as time goes on, hopefully we get, like, not just instrumentals, but, you know, vocal stuff. Serennial did come with the vocal track, but, you know, hopefully they start leaning towards music more and more. Especially with Chaos Mode and all the runs. Because, dude, the Chaos music, at this point, it's like, I hear it just, you know, walking through Walmart. Like, this is cool, dude. Yeah, so it goes on for a while. It's a long track. Overall, man, this Chaos Zero Nightmare half anniversary showcase, it's like a 10 out of 10. There's literally nothing else I could ask for, minus, like, you know, them revamping simulations as well, which I think is in the cards. We need a basin of hyperspace revamp, and we need a simulation revamp. Not necessarily giving us, like, more items, which, I mean, I'm not against it, but just to make the fights a little bit harder, you know? Because right now we're hopping in, and you literally just blow through in like 2 seconds. At that point, just add in a battle skip, man. It's so pointless. I think that simulation should be a little bit tougher. Maybe there's like a gamble to it, where like, oh, you spend like, I don't know, 50 stamina, 100 stamina, but it's a really tough random battle that, you know, fits whatever you're trying to get. And if you win, great, you get like double, triple the rewards, but if you lose, you're cut out for the day. Or, ooh, you lost like 50 stamina. I think that would be massive. But again, that's just like a weird personal take. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining in the CZN video. I don't know how many more of these I'll put out, but if they keep on doing good updates, I'll keep on making videos. You know, I am, like I said, an avid player. Let me see, where's my account? Just to show off what I am, dude, I'm level 58. It's so tough to get to 60. I'm kind of like not looking forward to when they boost the level cap. But yeah, dude, I've been grinding my ass off. Again, I'm missing Kron and Luke, but I think the data speaks for itself. I love this game, and I wish this game nothing but the best. You might be wondering why I have her as my wallpaper, and it's because it's the most PG one, brother. Mei Lin, most PG friendly. Dude, I cannot have this. Oh, look at this. Oh, what's the craziest one? Serennial? Yeah, Serennial, dude. This is... yeah, I'm trying to keep it PG-13 over here. But yeah, catch you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and peace out, y'all.